Hey there. I've got this Trident maple that I put on a rock a while back, and oh well, this is what I do. So let's see what we've got. That was a flower pot out of a flower shop. I put holes in the sides and in the bottom for drainage, but it gives a good shape for exposed root because it draws the roots down in a specific direction and it keeps it more compressed than a large open pot. But anyway, you can see the roots. They're circling on the outside, and that's a pretty good mass. And again, this is a Trident maple. That's a root, and I grafted this onto the root, and then eventually I severed this, and you can see the base, where the base of that is. So let's see what we've got here. This soil is really friable. Not that you're going to have chicken fried soil or anything, but it's really loose. Lots of pine bark, leaf mulch, and I do have reclaimed bonsai soil in here. And so that makes a good soil for this root system to grow. Gives them good strong roots in development. And as you can see, I don't have to do much to get that soil out so that I can see the roots. And this is the first time that I've revealed this root system since I put this together. So I'm not going to do very much to it right now, except to get the roots somewhat untangled for me to take a look and see how that looks. You can see right here, the main trunk comes down to the bottom of that rock, which is, for me, it's beautiful. I'm liking this. So but unfortunate, the rock would have been better if it was a deeper rock. But at any rate, I'll make this work. And again, my favorite, black electrical tape. I've got roots traveling around the rock and back down, and these will continue to feed down also. Steady pressure, but kind of a light pressure initially. Just enough to direct the roots around the rock. In the direction I want them to go. And now I'm putting more pressure on to pull that up against the rock. Now this is inexpensive tape, so you can't pull it like you can pull the electrical tape that costs you $30 or more a roll. That stuff is really serious. And I used to use that when I worked on aircrafts. Some expensive stuff, but this does just well for me, just fine. So I'm happy with this. Okay. See, that's in its crevice where I wanted it. And it should callus really nicely in that area. You can see all of the feeder roots in there. And the base of the rock is about right here. And once it displays in a pot, I think that'll do. Yep, that'll be well enough. So I will sink this again into a pot, but I don't need the deep pot anymore. So I'll just use this. See that scraper? That was a heavy-duty growing pot, and I just cut that piece out. Don't go anywhere. Slow release fertilizer. I buy this in bulk, not in this container. That container costs about 12 bucks nowadays. But when I buy this in bulk, I can fill up probably 15 of these. So you imagine that, the price differential. And the question would be, well, slow release fertilizer, what's the strength? And I always say some fertilizer is better than none. So whatever you can get your hands on, get it, use it, because if you water and fertilize, your plants are going to do a whole lot better regardless of what the strength is. But again, as you go and as you grow, you'll determine what you need for your fertilizer strengths. And what I'm doing here is pressing this soil in along the sides, and that compacts everything in toward the center, which presses the roots that are in there right now against the rock. And so I'll take this, put it into a soak tray, and let it sit for the rest of the day till tomorrow. It doesn't matter. And I'll use B1 or 0-10-10, which is what I have, or even the Miracle Grow powder. So there you have it. I've just assessed the roots on this root over rock planting, I rewrapped it, and now I'm visualizing what I want the roots to look like. I know that I have roots coming around and up the back side of this rock for a little bit and then going down in front here. So as time goes on, I'm visualizing these roots. And depending on my work schedule, I may end up pulling this out in 6 months. These young growths, you can move them. I have root over rocks that I pull out of the pot no less than 3 times a year when they're very young starting out, because everything is so viable, so vibrant, and they're growing at a great rate. And again, the aftercare is very important. Keep them moist, keep them in enough sun that everything that the tree needs to do will transpire, but not in such a burning heat that it causes more shock and distress on the tree. So anyway, that's that. And that is a elm tree. This is something I just started from a cutting from a collected elm. It's on a rock. I'm going to pull this out and do pretty much the same thing. You can see some of the roots over here, and I'll get those in the direction that I want them to go. Boom, bam, Bob's your uncle. There you have it. All right. Thanks. Bye.